Hi all, now you will hear a brief retelling of the film Hands. Enjoy watching. A guy named Kei, waiting for the train in the subway, sees his friend Carter. A man falls on the way, and no one from the crowd is eager to help him. Only the Carter tries to lift the body, but he doesn't have enough strength for it. And when he notices Kei, turns to him for help. But the guy is freezing, so the daredevil somehow saves the man himself. And yet, I decided to help the cat himself when the train almost arrived at the station, but they both fall on the way and die under his wheels. However, the next moment, the guys woke up in a room with some people and the black ball reveals that each of the strangers died that day. Suddenly, in the middle of the room, the ball created a naked wet girl. Kei and Kato appeared here in exactly the same way. Music began to come from the ball, and then the inscription appeared, which notifies people that their lives belong to the black sphere, and now she will manage them. And the group also needs to kill someone. Onion alien. The ball opened. Inside there is a body on life support. Personalized cases were also found there, and inside them there are unusual costumes and even stranger weapons. Girl, for lack of other clothes, immediately puts on a suit, just like one appeared after another stranger. Began to dissolve in space. The countdown timer has started on the sphere. A reverse company formed on some street. One guy already dressed in a suit began to overwrite that this is all a reality show and the winner will receive $100,000. All you need to do is shoot the creature lurking around the corner. Part of the group rushed to catch up with their target with excitement. Strange looking, the boy offers them a bow. I'll give you a bow. I'll give you a bow. And then sprays them with snot and jumps from a height. The chase continues. As a result, the snotty freak was pinned to the wall. One of the Yakuza men took a shot, and after a few seconds, Cipollino tore off the handle. Second limb with blades. He injured the aggressors and was eventually blown to pieces. But here's the problem. His onion dad came for the boy with a whole bag of onions. And in one motion, I cut off the Kuji's leg. Others tried to shoot him, but in the end, they hit a man and blew him up. The alien crushed the rest of their heads with his foot. He was about to figure it out and scat, but a girl in a super suit ran into him and slammed it into the wall. Monster fights back. And then it turns out that in a suit, a person does not feel pain. But there is no suit on Kiwi, and he was supposed to be the next victim. He is saved by a liar and caught in a net by the monsters. He lets Kei shoot, but he couldn't do it. And then he is finished off by an experienced fighter a few seconds after the shot. Onion Man bursts. 1 minute before time expires, the surviving guys find themselves in the room again, including one more man, who was seriously injured in the room. Everyone always comes back completely healthy. Everyone gets points. After the task, everyone was left with zeros, except for the niche, who already has 79 points with these 5. He tells that the sphere is called Hands, and that a lot of people died on missions. The guys grappled, sorting things out. And suddenly, Kei found himself in his room. He comes to that same metro station again. Only there is a search message pasted on the column. Eyewitnesses of the tragedy that happened to him yesterday. He finally gets to the interview, but fails. His guys can't let go of the nightmare. In the evening, Kei finds a place where they fought the onion monsters. The carnage remained. It means it was real. Kishimoto came here too. Girl from the room. And she asks to spend the night with Kei today. Kishimoto confesses that she passed away in the bathtub after breaking up with a guy. The girl kept the Carter jacket. There was a notepad inside from which the guys learned that the guy was convicted, as well as his residential address. Kiryu really likes Kishimoto, but she wants to meet Kato as soon as possible, so the previously hidden condom. He definitely won't need it. We are transported to Kato's home, who lives with his younger brother. Now he is tormented by nightmares. He began to disappear again before our eyes for another moment, and he and Kei are again standing in the middle of the mysterious room. They were located far away from Kishimoto with a niche and newcomers. Hans issues a new task. Kill the cheerful alien Tanaka. Niche is recognized that I came back here many times, and every time he was the only one who survived. The rest of the poor fellows were just bait and cannon fodder. The whole group is transferred to the parking lot. The child runs and bumps into Tanaka, knocking the boombox out of his hands. The alien doesn't forgive him for this and sends him and his grandmother to the next world. Then he attacks Kei with a light charge and, taking off like a rocket, attacks Niches. The robot knocks the soul out of him and breaks his suit, trying to save the cat, but it's too late. Dying, the guy asks one of them to score 100 points and revive it. The robot woke up and turned on its threshing machines again. As it appears, he liked Kishimoto. Instead of hitting the girl, he stares at her breasts. Wait. The case suffers from dozens of blows, but the reinforced suit allows them to withstand them, and also deliver devastating blows in response. He was trapped in the car, and when it was preparing to fire a salvo, managed to shoot first. Together, they explode inside the car. All participants moved back, besides Kei. His leg and arm were torn off, but as soon as the timer showed zeros, the guy also returned safe and sound, and even got 7 points for destroying the alien. To reach 100, he only has 93 left to accumulate. Now, we need to find out, what does this 100 give? Hans tells the guys this information. The player can resurrect himself or revive any of the dead. This time at home, I came to my senses in a special suit, and he can use its capabilities in real life, for example, jump long distances. His classmate distracts him from testing, who breathes unevenly towards him. She brags about the mango about the superhero, which she drew herself. But Kishimoto comes to the hut and confesses to him that now he wants to live, because I met him. The guy also has his own tragic story. He was in prison because protecting my little brother killed his drunk father, and now he will try to do everything to survive and not leave my brother one. He promises this to his brother personally. On TV, on the news, talk of unexplained destruction which have been happening in the city in recent days. Third time, the trio return to the room, already ready for anything. Today with other participants, they have to fight a particularly dangerous alien, 3rd level, ready to try to explain to beginners the rules of the game. But Kei believed it, that he is a comic book hero, and is sure that he can handle it himself in the city. The team seems to find its goal in the form of a huge statues that a newcomer destroys with one shot. And here is the second giant, standing nearby, does not give himself offense and steps towards the players. They surrounded the giant. Nokia runs around him and doesn't let him shoot. To the rest, at the cost of the newcomer's life, he destroys the creature's leg, and then the whole monster. By his behavior, he now resembles a dead-necked Sly. For some reason, the team did not return to the room, and when the allotted time has come to an end, the timer started again. The priest and the girl were hiding in the museum. The last one who got out of there died from injuries. That means there is one more alien inside. It turned out to be the multi-armed Buddha, who immediately tormented Kei with his swords. The guy is bleeding and most likely dropped out until the end of the battle. The statue promises to take revenge on Kata for all his friends, whom they killed earlier. Kishimoto shoots the alien on the sly, but then he dodges and breaks her pistol. All soldiers are wounded. I am just now noticing the cat, that he also has a special sword on his belt. But even with him, it is difficult to resist. Buddha wielding dozens of swords at once. Kishimoto also has no chance against him. And crossed over, pierce it right through with a bunch of blades at the same time. The girl tries to kiss Kata, but without doing this, he dies in his arms. The crazy fight continues, and literally in a few seconds, Kato turns out to be impaled on all blades at once. Kei activates the suit, which allows him to stand on his feet and even strengthen him. He understands that nothing can be done here with cold steel, so he runs for the gun. After the shot, the alien is left without swords, but at the same time, he drops the little Buddha from his hand, which grows before our eyes to gigantic proportions. It became 2 times taller than the museum building. With the last of his strength, the skating rink throws a gun at Kei, and he blows away Mega Bunny's hand in 3 shots. The guy is ready for the final blow, but was simply swallowed by Buddha. Only with the Japanese, the Colossus swallowed his trunk too, so he soon lost his head and everything else. Akira doesn't know who is dying. Will his friend wake up in the room this time? There are 3 survivors in the room. Time to count the points. But okay, they are interested in 13 points scored. He asks to see the dead. Hans shows photos of Kishimat and Kato and also reminds the guy that he can bring a person back if he scores 100 points, and Kei is in despair because he realizes that it's practically impossible. The next day, he is no longer interested in any of his classmates, nor her mango. On the subway, some guy dropped his cap on the tracks. Kei jumps off completely calmly and gives it to the owner, but he's in no hurry to get up. He probably wants to end it this way. But at the last moment, Kei is still missing. Extended hand to the mangaka who is in love with him. She asks the young man not to kill himself, and he understands that he has someone to live for and takes care of Koto's younger brother. In a room with your new friends, he is ready to start destroying aliens again to accumulate the required number of points.